You know when your blowout looks incredible for maybe like 20 minutes and then it just disappears?
It's literally the worst feeling. You have to find a ponytail or clip immediately and pull it back because it looks horrible.
Here's what nobody tells you. Your blowout doesn't fall because you're bad at styling. It falls because nobody ever took the time to teach you the real things that control how long it lasts. And once you understand 3 simple concepts, your blowout will finally look the way you want and last.
Prove it.
Let's get into it. Most women learn blowouts by piecing together a bunch of disconnected advice. Where'd you get your advice from?
My friends, my stylists, never my sisters, no. And more recently, probably social media.
The problem is those tips weren't made for your hair, your routine, or your goals. In the salon, we don't use tricks. We use a technique that works on every hair type. And once you know these pro tips, your blowouts are always going to last, look exactly the way you want. Surprisingly, there's only 3 ways a blowout will let you down. The first way is what I call fall flat girl. She loses all volume before noon. But the second type of girl is what I call won't bounce girl. Her hair has a nice texture, but it's got no body or movement at all. Third is what I call puff up girl. Her blowouts start out smooth, but then it balloons into frizz. And yeah, if any of these feel familiar, you are in exactly the right spot. Let me show you what actually works and how to stop those problems from ever coming back. I call it the 3-point blowout because your hair is made up of 3 parts: your roots, your mids, and your ends, and you need to treat them all differently. I came up with it in my salon after a decade of training stylists on how to get the smoothest, longest lasting blowout on the planet. Every blowout starts at the roots because that sets the foundation for how long your blowout's gonna last. So we have to get this part right for it to even be worth doing a blowout in the first place.
Let's do it.
One of my clients was a classic fall flat girl. No matter what she tried, her blowout would look great for an hour and the whole thing would collapse. It turned out that she was starting her blowout a few inches away from her scalp. And here's why that matters. If the roots stay even slightly damp, it breaks the hydrogen bonds that all the hot air just created and made smooth. And without those bonds, wet hair has no structure. That's exactly how fall flat girl always lost her shape.
Poor fall flat girl.
Instead, you want to get as close as you possibly can to the roots so you get them 100% dry. And some people are afraid they might burn themselves, but all you have to do is angle the nozzle away from your scalp.
Like we actually need to show them.
Anytime you're out here, you're too far away. You're not close enough to the root. But if you get close enough to the root, just gonna burn. It's gonna go straight to the scalp and burn it right there. What you want, angle it away. Brush up. That way, all the roots get dry, no burning at all.
Like that,
yes.
Instead of like that.
Correct.
Got it. It's actually like way more comfortable on your wrist that way.
Yeah, it's the correct way.
Yeah.
And this is also really important for you, puff up girl, because if you don't get really close to the roots,
it gets frizzy.
The frizz is gonna get really bad, and the frizz that starts up here travels down your hair and ruins the smoothness throughout the whole hair shaft.
And nobody wants frizzy hair.
And by the way, for all the fall flat girls out there, if you want some extra volume, I have some amazing tips for you later, so I'm not gonna forget about you. All right, moving on to the mids now. Leslie, if I could have you come over.
Of course.
The mids make up the majority of your hair, so we have to make them look amazing, and it's really hard for puff up girl to do that, so I'm gonna show you something special here. The main thing you wanna keep in mind is the hair should never be on top of the brush. If you look at how loose this is, loose hair comes out wavy and frizzy and doesn't last. If you put the brush on top of the hair, like this, it has to go through the entire brush before it comes out, so it's nice and straight. That's gonna give you good tension so it stays straight and smooth for a long time. It's not limp at all. That's what you're looking for. If you're putting the brush under, the result is gonna be frizz, puffiness. Your hair's just gonna go back to the air dried look you hate, even though you took the time to blow dry it.
That's actually like the worst, when you put like all that time and effort into it and it just goes to crap. Yeah, you're like, all right, I guess I just will pull it back again.
The whole name of the game here is pulling the hair as straight as possible and locking it in with heat from the blow dryer so the cuticle stays flat and has a ton of shine. But here's a pro tip.
Pro tip? I love pro tips.
This is one that surprises even professional stylists when I teach them, and it's that you want to aim the nozzle at the hair that just came off the brush, not at the actual brush. When you point it on the brush, the humidity is gonna get trapped inside there and it's gonna mess everything up. And as you put that barrel back on your hair, you're reintroducing water back into dry hair, which creates frizz, ruins your sleek, shiny look. It's not gonna last you. When you put the blow dryer on the hair, the air goes straight through, the humidity comes right out the other side, and everything goes away. This gets super sleek, super smooth, looks a million times better. And this actually speeds up your blowout because the water is gone. It can't slow you down. It gives you much smoother, less frizzy blowout that lasts a lot longer. And by the way, those two things, longevity and smoothness, actually go together. The smoother it is, the longer it'll last, and that's how you fix Puff Up Girl. Now let's move on to your ends and how you're gonna blow dry them, because almost everyone, especially even professional stylists, tend to get this wrong and just let them drop right off the brush without even doing them.
That gives me the ick. I hate it so much. And then they like put it down like on your shirt and like show you how afraid they look. You're just looking at it and you're like, you're done? You're done?
You gonna get that?
Yeah.
You're gonna get,
pick it back up.
You missed the spot. What happens is when ends get skipped like that, they're basically just getting air dried, not blow dried, which means they look dry, puffy, and split, even when they're healthy.
It's the worst.
And this is exactly why Won't Bounce Girl can't get any body or movement in her blowout. It's counterintuitive. You wouldn't think that most of the body and bounce comes from your ends, but if you think about it, your roots, you wanna be straight. Your mids, you wanna be straight until about your cheekbone, but below here, you want it to be curly and bouncy. That's where your body comes from.
Because we're not talking about an 80s blowout, right?
No, 90s actually.
It was 90s, yeah, that's true.
Your ends need heat, just like your roots need heat and your mids need heat. Let's show them how it's done. Let's come on up.
Okay.
So Leslie's doing a normal blowout, which is nozzle on here, and as it gets down to the bottom, most people just literally let it fall right off. Absolutely horrible. Don't do that. What you want to do instead is this comes down, except when you get here, you're gonna put this back on top, and then you're gonna roll it. What's happening here is you're trying to wrap this tightly around the barrel. That barrel gets nice and hot, it radiates heat, and if you put your ends on it, that's how they get shiny and polished. If you just drop it off, you're not gonna get the polished shine like this. Your ends need heat just like your roots and mids. So if you're letting them fall off the brush instead of properly styling them, you're gonna feel like No Bounce Girl. The fix is simple. Roll your ends on the brush and polish them up for like 30 seconds. What should happen is they should get wrapped tightly around that barrel of the brush because it heats up and works like a gentle iron. As you wrap the hair around it, the heat starts to smooth them, polish them, and give it a curl on the end. And that's where the body and bounce comes from. But to get that, you have to use the correct brush size. And I actually had a client who could never get any bounce to her blowout, and this was the problem. The reason was she was using a really big brush. And yeah, bigger brushes are easier to not get tangled with, so it's tempting to use them, but they're terrible at adding bounce and body to your hair because the ends can't really wrap all the way around them and give it any shape. I'll show you on Leslie. Can you come over and demonstrate?
Sure.
If you see these curls that Leslie has here, the shape and this body, it doesn't come from a circle this big. There's no way to get that tight curl. It's just gonna look straight. It's gonna have a slightly rounded look, but it's not gonna have much to it. Whereas if you use a smaller brush like this, that's how we got these curls. When you go around it like this, that tight curl, the smaller circle, gives you much more body, much more rounded, bouncy look than the big brush. That's what we're going for. That's how you get that. So quick recap here. Roots control longevity, how long your blowout lasts. Mids control the smoothest, how sleek it is, and then your body and bounce comes from the ends. Now, let's talk about products, which is actually the easy part. Believe it or not, you only need 3 products, and each one of them helps you avoid one of those 3 major blowout problems we talked about. The first and most important, Leslie, as she knows, leave-in conditioner. Absolutely most important product of all time. You are on the clock the second you get out of the shower to apply this to your hair as soon as possible because your hair is leaking moisture.
After you towel dry it, right?
You do need to towel dry.
Okay.
Yes. So when you finish your shower, you're going to
Towel
dry your hair and apply 12 to 16 sprays of this evenly. It's gonna go on your roots, mids, and ends. It goes everywhere. What this does is it keeps your hair properly moisturized by locking in all the moisture of your conditioner so it can't leak out. That way, it reduces frizz, makes the whole process more forgiving so you don't turn into
Puff Up Girl.
Puff Up Girl.
Sorry, puff up girl. Use your leave-in.
All right, product number 2, what do we got?
Number 2 is a blow dry cream.
Blow dry cream, extremely important every time you blow dry your hair. If you're not using this, you hate your hair. First of all, this is gonna protect it from blow dryer heat. So you're not gonna get any heat damage at all. You don't even have to worry about it if you use this. But just as importantly, and a lot of people forget this is gonna help you give you a super smooth, volumized texture, almost like a pillow, what makes you wanna keep looking in the mirror and running your fingers through your hair every time you go past it.
I do that all the time.
Every time she looks in the mirror, I'm like, how do you look? How do you look? She's like, what? Nobody saw me. What? A lot of people are tempted to use way too much of this. You're gonna take only a pea-sized amount in your palm, rub your hands together, and you're gonna apply it from your ends up. This should never go on your roots. It's gonna be super heavy. You're gonna put most of it on your ends, a little bit more on your mids, and then only a tiny bit that's left is gonna go on your roots. If you put too much there, it's gonna get greasy and oily. You're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, we're ploppers out there. Like, we love to plop, but...
No, there's no plopping.
So, unfocused plopping?
Retired plopper, semi-retirement. Another cool thing about this is that it gives your blowout hold, which helps lock in that body and bounce there. This lasts, how many days ago did we do your hair?
At least 4 or 5 now.
4 or 5 days ago, we still have the body, we still have the movement, and it'll last you another 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, easily.
Most people can't do that. She has coarse hair, but.
Yeah, I actually don't use this guy. I actually use this guy.
Okay. But let's say that you're fall flat girl. No matter what you do, you can't get any volume at all, but you want it. What you're gonna do instead is you're gonna add one more product, which is Olapplex's Volumizing Blow Dry Mist. You're gonna add this to your roots up here. Only your root area. You don't need it on your mids, don't need it on your ends. It's just gonna feel weird. Again, this is on wet hair. Right after you put in your blow dry cream, you're gonna come in with this guy, give it 4 to 6 sprays around the crown of your head. That's where the volume is gonna come from. It's gonna make it look like you have thicker, fuller hair, which means it's a great choice for anybody who wants volume. All right, and for the third and final product, what do you have for us, Les?
Hair oil.
Hair oil, final piece of the Trinity routine here. Remember, the strategy this whole time was to keep your hair light and bouncy, so we couldn't use any heavy products or creams to keep things smooth. If we did, the blowout would collapse instantly, it wouldn't last. So it's totally normal to have a bit of a dry, frizzy look at this point, right after you finish blow drying. That means that you did everything right, you didn't put anything extra, nothing was heavy in there, you've set yourself up for success, and this is going to last.
But when you say a little bit of dry or frizzy, you're not talking about like dry, frizzy, big puffball.
No, it should be fairly smooth, but it's just not that finished look yet. Like, this is the polish. This is that finishing touch that makes it look like flawless without adding weight.
Cool.
So you're gonna take just a few drops of oil, again, spread it over your palms, and then run your hands through your hair, specifically trying to target any frizzy spots. If a place already looks amazing, you don't need to put more oil there. You only need to target those frizzy spots wherever you see them.
Right, but if I have flyaways at my roots, should I be using that?
Oil should never go near your roots unless you're coarse or you know exactly what you're doing. This is one of those things where, like, as a rule, I tell people not to use oil on their roots, but if you really know what you're doing, you can. Leslie likes to get me off topic. This is extremely spreadable, extremely light. It'll spread out through all and every hair shaft to make it smooth, polished, and shiny. Just make sure not to use too much or else you'll end up like fall flat girl. It'll be way too heavy.
Poor fall flat girl, man. She's like definitely getting it today.
Less is more. So you know what you're doing now, but there's actually 3 cardinal blowout sins. And if you commit any one of them, your blowout's ruined before you even started.
Cardinal sins? Like it's that serious? It'll ruin your blowout?
It'll kill your blowout.
All right, let's hear them.
Cardinal sin number 1, starting with dirty hair, which sounds weird. Like, who would do that? Who would intentionally start a blowout with dirty hair?
I've done it before. Not intent, like, I mean, you didn't get in there. You thought you got in there, you didn't get in there.
Whoopsie daisy.
And then you're halfway through the blow and you're like, I'm committed now. Like, it's gotta happen.
That does happen, but there's a lot of times where women think they have everything clean. It is not even close to clean.
Yeah.
And if your hair isn't clean, there's no way your blowout can last for days because the oil and blowout are gonna wilt the shape right out of it, weigh everything down, and make you fall flat, girl.
Like shortest blowout in history for Leslie, like ever. And I was pushing it. I still was pushing it like.
I can picture the tombstone.
Yeah.
It was nice while it lasted.
My sister was like, are you sure you washed this?
Oh, she did it?
Yeah, and she's like, why does it smell? This is a while ago, a long time ago.
It's last week.
No, it was.
You must have fully clean hair to get volume in your blowout. So if you aren't shampooing twice, or if you don't know what the jungle is, make sure to check out one of my hair washing videos. Put a link up here, call it the jungle, click on the jungle if you don't know what it is. Anyway, when they watch it, most women say, I can't believe I've gone my entire life washing my hair wrong. How many times have we heard that?
75%.
Literally blows people's minds.
All the time, yeah. It's normally they're in their 30s or 40s too, which is the best part.
Yeah, I can.
It's not like we're talking to 16-year-olds who are like, I can't believe I never washed. It's literally 40, 50-year-olds like.
Yeah, like they have kids, like their kids come home and tell them what they learned in school. She's like, I learned how to wash my hair. All right, second cardinal sin of blowouts is not knowing the Goldilocks zone. Another huge struggle is what I call the heat problem. A lot of women who are great with their hair still struggle with this, not because they don't understand heat, but because they're focused on the surface instead of the layers underneath.
Listen, I may have made the cardinal sin 1 wrong, but I know cardinal sin 2. I know when my hair is ready.
I can die a happy man. When you blow dry, you're in this balance where you want to blow dry your hair long enough to get rid of all the water, but if you blow dry for too long, the heat will start to build up and do damage to your hair. So the question becomes, how do you get that balance perfectly? And the answer is actually by feeling your hair. If it's cold or room temperature, it means that there's still water in your hair and you need to keep blow drying. But if your hair is so hot that it burns your hand to the touch, then you're definitely doing damage. So what you want to do is keep blow drying until you notice that your hair is pretty warm, like comfortably warm, almost like clothes or a blanket straight out of your clothing dryer. That's the perfect temperature to move on to the next section while still getting all the water out. Cardinal sin number 3 is how much you rough dry your hair, meaning how dry do you get it before you actually go in with a brush and a blow dryer. The canned advice on this is just 80% dry, everybody get it 80% dry, but that's not actually how it works. It is true that you don't want to blow dry sopping wet hair, but the amount of water that should be in there is different for everyone, and if you get it wrong, you don't stand a chance. And first off, not all hair should be rough dried. With your hair, coarse hair, we literally don't rough dry it at all because it's just gonna turn into a frizzy puffball. If Leslie washes her hair, gets out of the shower, and then like walks around for 10 minutes letting it air dry, it's already done. It's gonna be frizzy, the texture's gonna be totally off. That's the rule for coarse hair. Fine and medium hair is totally different though.
Yeah.
And luckily, there's an easy way to figure out exactly how much you should air dry your hair before you get in there with the brush. And it doesn't matter if you don't even know your hair type. It's this easy. And if you don't know what rough drying is, it's basically when you go like this, just to remove excess water. That's what rough drying is. So what you're gonna do is rough dry until you start to see frizz forming. You wanna stop as soon as you see that first layer of frizz, because if you don't, you're not gonna be able to save your blow dry. It's gonna be a frizz ball. So you have to stop at that exact second. I'll give you a general guide here. Coarse hair, don't rough dry it at all. Medium hair, you should rough dry to only about 60% dry, and fine hair, and only fine hair, can get up to 80% dry because it struggles more with oil than it ever does with frizz. Leslie, what's the easiest way to ruin an amazing blowout?
To use products that aren't meant for you and your hair.
This is correct. So if you need to grab any products for your next blowout, make sure to check out my recommended product list. It shows you the exact products I would use on your hair if you were sitting in my chair. It's changed so many people's lives. Stop guessing, stop buying products that don't work. Find the ones that actually go for your hair type and give you amazing results. That is my final advice for you today.